is nothing but a shit show. And if you don't give a fuck what people say, you're better off, really. If I gave a fuck what people thought about me, Jesus Christ. Do it. Let's fucking wrestle. Fuck you and your goddamn 4 tits. I will poke your fucking tits out. I will bash you in the head, and I will, I'll bring you down the street, bitch. Let's fight. Maybe that's why I got told no a lot. Maybe that's why I didn't get the big money or anything like that, because I basically told everyone to fuck off. Listen, asshole. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Trash Talk. And your one and only MADUSA, made in the USA, and my awesome guy here that, is sitting in a suckly piece of poor fucking looking background Yankee shit. Go Twins. My producer, my Imagineer, Red.
Yes, the wise man of Trash Talk and the wise ass. So that we're.
I'm just going to call you a wise ass. So I apologize for 15 minutes late. I got big shoulders. It's all me. I'll take the heat. Guys, I'm going to share something with you real quick. It's going to take 1 minute. So when I travel, last 40 years being on the road, I've never put anything, every fucking hotel, I don't care how nice or how sloppy, I never put shit in my drawers, and I never hang anything up. If I do hang something up, it's on the door by the bathroom if it's something I need to steam or whatever, right? Never put anything away. My husband, another story. He gets in there, everything's perfect. His fucking underwear is perfect. His fucking socks are perfect. His slacks, everything's hung up. Everything's great. And he remembers to take everything. Well, this time I was in Vegas this weekend over Wrestlemania. We're going to get to all of that. We have a great lineup tonight. Red put together some great shit. I don't know why. I don't know why I decided to be fucking all melancholy. Oh, I miss my husband. I'm going to be like him, and I'm going to put shit away. Well, I did. And guys, I finally was unpacking, and I'm repacking tonight. I'm looking for some certain outfits and a top and stuff. All my shit is still fucking hanging in Las Vegas in that hotel. Well, it's probably gone now, but yeah. I'm talking about a really super nice fucking leather jacket. Oh, you wouldn't, and these can't, oh my God. I'm so sad. Anyway, so there's that. So the purpose of me telling you that is why. Fuck, I have no idea. But except that we got a great lineup.
and tomorrow, because this is what I do, keep you straight, you are flying to Indianapolis for the Squared Circle Expo. One night only, as seen on your
Friday night, 5 to 9.
Yes, ma'am. 5 to 9. All this is probably top 3 or 4 biggest ones in the country at this point. The Horsemen are advertised. Madusa is advertised. Current from WWE and AEW, plus your indie people will be there. And while Madusa's only there for Friday, 5 to 9. Saturday, Sunday is also part of the event. So if you're in the area, make it. Also, Madusa, you had a special offer that you put out on social about your book, The Woman Who Would Be King. So you get to tell everybody. I don't need to tell them. You tell them.
Oh, it's your show. Thank you. Anyway, so yeah, Squared Circle Expo is a fun one. And so I'm really excited to be there. It's this Friday. I'll be signing autographs from 5 to 9. They'll have everything available. And however, I will have my book. I'll have my book. My book's going to be there available. And so come get it. And if you have the audio book and it's downloaded on your phone, you get a free gift. So lots of good stuff there. So come and get your photo or get the book. You get the book signed. But if you already have the audio book, ooh, you guys get a freebie. Free gift. A free gift. Let's just get that straight. Can we talk about, it's been a whirlwind, really. WrestleMania was fun. It was great. I really enjoyed this time going to WrestleMania. I loved it because I stepped out of my comfort zone. And what I mean by that is I went and checked out other independents like all over. And I sat behind the scene, went behind the stage, met the talent, watched every match possible, got involved in some ways. We'll talk about that too. Um, I was involved with Fourth Rope, a great set of guys. And it was really, really good to connect with Enzo, the real one, with Fourth Rope, the godmother, baby. I am the godmother. And we have linked up. And a little story on this guy is many, many years ago. I never met him. I never knew him, never met him in person, nothing. And I really loved his shtick on WWE, guys. He's a fucking talented motherfucker, just talented. And I loved his whole gimmick. He was funny and he was really good on the mic. And all of a sudden, I was hearing some scuttlebuttle bullshit, and all of a sudden he just got fucked. Like he just got let go. And somehow I got a hold of his number and I text him out of the blue and I said, "Brother, whatever you do, keep focused. Your shit is good and I enjoyed it. I just wanted to let you know that I support you. Don't ever stop." And let me tell you, that guy has gone through some shit, up and down, gone through some adversities, but he's pulling himself back. And I really, really believe that this guy could do it. And it'd be kind of cool to see these stories evolve. Like maybe once a year, there's this one person or this one gal that, overcomes all these things within the business and they get that moment. So I see him as another CM Punk story. I really, really do. And so I'm really excited for him, and I'll help him out any way I can because I believe in talent, and a great guy. So the first family. I am the wiser woman, bitches. That's what I am right now. So, Red, get back up here. Let's talk about this great lineup that you put together.
The wiser woman, huh? I'm the wise man. So, and the
Well,
wise
yeah,
ass.
you're a wise ass. I'm the wiser woman.
Correct.
Even though you
We work
bitch like
together.
one.
Yeah, we work together. So before we get started, a couple things.
Yes.
Tragically, Steve McMichael has passed away. The battle
Mm.
with ALS is over.
God, that poor guy,
Um,
man.
and this is my position. I know you're a Minnesota Vikings fan,
Mhm.
Madusa,
Mhm.
but fuck you, NFL, for not putting that man, an all pro defensive tackle, in the Hall of Fame before he lost his ability to walk and talk and move because Mongo deserved better. What a man. That's all I'm going to say.
So,
I
don't
don't
you
know.
feel a lot of people feel that way in wrestling though about the Hall of Fame? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. That shit should happen. Leilani Kai and Judy Martin better get in the Hall of Fame before something happens to them. Yeah, I feel the same fucking way.
Yep.
And now look at, we hear, we hear Trip talking like, "Oh, it's going to happen now. It's going to happen. It'll happen soon," about, Joni going into the Hall of Fame. But she's gone, you know? Who's there to accept the award? Him? Is that appropriate? Who would it be?
Um,
I don't know. Hopefully, maybe her mom.
I would say if it was Joni, it would be her sister or her mother. But yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted to mention that Mongo died today. Unfortunately, they took him off of the respirator. They were going to move him to hospice, and he didn't.
hospice.
Yeah, he didn't live much longer. Flair's already put his condolences out because he loved Mongo, and I
Yeah.
know that you were at least passively around Mongo there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We had a really good time. Him and when he was married to Deborah, and me and Elizabeth. Us four were like a lot of fun at WCW. Yep.
Yeah. And we don't want to dwell on it, obviously, because the man wouldn't want us to mourn his death, but he is one that truly would want you to celebrate the life he lived.
And we
Um,
will.
and he was a
Mongo.
party animal and a wild man. Yes, ma'am. To Mongo, everybody, thank you, Michael, for pointing that out. I did confirm it as well before I said it on the internet. You know how people are; they don't want us to jump the gun.
Mm.
Um, But he is a Twitch follower, Madusa, which is a nice segue. Michael is. Can you talk to your audience about Twitch? I don't think we do enough promotion of your Twitch channel that you've had forever. Your most hardcore, ardent fans are on Twitch with you, and people need to know where they can find you and what you guys are doing over there on Twitch these days.
Well, we've rebranded and we regrouped, and my Mad Mod Squad is everything. They are the ones that keep me in line, aligned, and insane. They are the conduit to keeping it all together and running smoothly, really, behind the scenes. And damn it, Digi is the the key holder here. He's the guy, and um, everyone else is equal. When I say everyone else, they're not any lesser or any more. It's just that I've been through the meticulous things with Digi and have yelled at him, and he has taken it like a champ, and he knows it's not personal, which is really cool. And mods all around are just genuine, really good people. I've never met such a great group of people that we have stuck together like um 4 years, guys. Who does that? What mods do that? They don't. There's some type of loyalty, family, but now, as Digi says, we are first family. Because I'm the godmother. We are or they are the first family. Yes. So good. But anyway, you can catch us on Twitch at Madusa_rocks. And every Thursday, if I'm not traveling, guys. So no tomorrow, no next Thursday. So, and I'll try, to do something during the week, or, if I can, before the following Thursday, but it's thin, but I try. So catch us on Thursdays at 8 p.m. It was 9, but it's 8 p.m. Um, and yeah, come play games. We got a lot of cool things. I've kind of introduced my, he's my history buff, our researcher, Mortis, and he puts a lot of things together. Now I've introduced the kind of the format that Red has done, and so Mortis is engaged and it's working, believe it or not, Red. So it is kind of working. So we're trying that over there, and things are, kind of meshing together, which is really cool. So we have a really good time. It's really laid back, and it gets aggressive. Shit flies, things get broken. Sometimes it's just a fuck you night or something. But we have a good time. It's a really good time. So make sure you check us out every Thursday, unless I'm traveling, which I am the next couple of weeks, but we'll let you know. We'll send something out. We need to check that out, Digi, by the way. Remember, it used to be connected to the Twitter or something account. Let's see if we can get that back up there. As soon as we go live, it lets everybody notice that we are. Let's visit that again. So yeah, there we go. Twitch it is.
Twitch it is, and I will get to finally meet Mortis hopefully in August when you are at the gathering.
Oh yeah, Morty, are you coming? I think he is. Yeah,
I think he is. He said that live and in living color. I am not an original. I am very organized.
Oh, you're original, all right.
Well, not about being organized though. Speaking,
can you show him your Christmas gifts again?
No, not yet. Sometimes, because we're on a clock. Sometimes, except we're on your clock where you can be late because it's your show. Madusa had the notes and the link before 3:00 this afternoon, but what do I know?
I did.
I just work here.
Listen, New York.
See, look, it's going to be a motherfucking night because, guys, this is the agenda for the night. We're going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to talk this nonsense about the new Dangerous Alliance. Becky Lynch has returned, and I need the comments over here to become questions, wrestling related only tonight. No JFK, because more stuff has dropped. And we're certainly not going to talk about RFK after the shit week he had in the media. So, anyway, for those of you who don't follow politics, RFK did not do himself very good. but neither did The Rock. So we'll
Oh
get to
dear.
his comments. Oh,
Oh
D
dear.
Wayne. I don't think we should call him The Rock anymore. If
Why don't
you
we
just
call him the sock? No.
well, I mean, he's
How
the
about the
stiff.
soft rock?
How about the stiff sock at this point? Because that's about what he is. He's about as useful as a stiff sock with a hole in it. But anyway,
Wow.
well, Dwayne fucked WrestleMania up, and we're going to get there. So Madusa just said that some nights it's a fuck you night, and tonight might be one of those nights, thanks to The Rock
Oh
at
God.
WrestleMania. So y'all can fill up the questions. We've got the format. We
So I'm
don't
gonna go
always.
get a gimmick. I'm gonna get a sock full of rocks.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna use it.
Sock
Yeah.
full of rocks and beat people over the heads with them, like
Yep.
you're the final boss. But before we launch into the topic, first topic, Madusa, Io Sky or Io,
Yeah.
is it Sky? Yes, Io
Io.
wins the opening match of WrestleMania Night 2.
No, night one.
No, it was Night 2. They were on Night 2. Night 1 was Jay and Gunther.
For
But
the
they
very
went.
first match?
Yeah,
No.
they were the first match. They set the tone for the rest of the night on Night 2, honey.
No. Io, the three-way with Ripley, Io, and then we're on the first. Guys, weren't they the first night on
Tell her
Saturday
she's
night?
wrong, guys, and it was Night 2. Because they put
Andrew, go
Charlotte.
back.
They put Charlotte in Tiffy time on Night 1, ma'am, right before the
No.
main event.
Yes, they did. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. Fuck.
So, anywho, it doesn't matter that I'm right. I have a better memory than
All
Madusa.
right, everybody, slow down. I see that it was night 2 for fuck's sake. God.
Man. Oh, they got you. So, what we have is something that you said a week ago. If I can get this to work, hold on just a second.
Oh, you actually. Oh.
Yes,
Okay, you are
I
good.
actually did something that
That
you
I
told
asked.
me. Yes.
Hey, he works a full-time job, guys, so.
I do. Hold on. Screen sharing has been canceled. Let's see if I can. I don't know if it's going to let me do it. Hold on.
Okay, so guys, in
This
the
is on the
meantime.
fly, so y'all. Oh, okay. Hold on. I can get
Okay.
there. I can do it. Give me a second.
Okay, while he does that, guys, really quick. So what I've got cooking here is, yes, we are going to have a 12-hour stream coming up on Twitch, and it'll be streaming through YouTube. We just have to pick the date. I know we spoke about something, the mods and I guess it'll be showing it. Hold on. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to have an auction as well. So in that auction, what I wanted to say real quick is that everything on my website, they'll be most of it. A lot of that stuff is going to be 40 to 50% off on my website. So we're ready to do a dump on a lot of things on my website. So go take a look, and just in case the things that you want that may be going on sale, you can get ready to get, because they will move fast, because there's only so many of so many sizes and blah 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 blah. So just a heads up, that'll be a big announcement on my social media, and it'll be on the website when we do take place, when we're going to do that. Okay. So heads up on when we announce the 12-hour stream and auction, and then separately, when everything's going to go on sale on the website, because we got a bunch of new merch coming in. All right. What do we have here, Red?
This would be your
Prediction?
what you said you wanted to see EO do at WrestleMania, or what you would like to see the company do at WrestleMania. It's only about 30 seconds. You can see that Madusa and I go a couple hours when we record, guys. My new job schedule has not allowed me to be as good about cutting up the shorter, more digestible pieces, but they are all available on Madusa's website, the Queen of Carnage YouTube channel, rather, so that you can see everything she had to say. But this is what she said about Io, Bianca, and Rhea on the 4th of April.
I'm glad they had her step up and do what she did. The best thing that could happen is her take them both out, and her, being the champion she is. winning
See,
everything.
I've heard some people say they don't believe Io has enough star power to be the world champion, but she was the
Because it's
world.
uncomfortable to everybody and because she doesn't speak the full promo situation that they want to. But it just Io has the talent to fulfill that place. Now it's up to the team to deliver the rest because she cannot do this alone since it's a production and it is a television show. The writers and everyone involved needs to get involved for this to be a success. Otherwise, we're going to see the same old bullshit of Americans always rising above. The fucking foreigners get pushed aside, and this needs to overcome. Just kind of like what they did with Bull Nakano and Alundra when she won the title in Tokyo. For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, ladies and gentlemen. I took Madusa off the stage by accident. That was my bad.
That's all right.
See, that's the problem when there's two of you here. Now let's flip because you're
I'm
not
double
me,
duty,
I'm not
bitch.
you. There we go. I have never identified as Madusa, ladies and gentlemen. You can all
You're not a
write
woman?
that down. Not a woman and not the woman who would be king. Available on Amazon because I am the plug guy around here. So
let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this because everybody in the chat put your opinion in, but I already saw Fernando's. He said this was the match of WrestleMania. Madusa, this is your show, so I'm not going to steal your thunder. I want your opinion first. What did you think of the way that these ladies, Bianca, Io, Rhea, performed WrestleMania to open night 2?
It is open night 2, by the way. Thank you, everybody. Okay, congratulations. This is something I wanted to see, and it needed to happen. It needed to get past that stage of always Americans, champions rising above, and they surpassed that. So I had everything crossed on me, hoping that it would go this way. Number 2, this match succeeded everything about WrestleMania and more. I didn't see too much wrongdoing in this match. We're humans. You've got 3 people in a fucking match, and that's hard enough. But these 3 pulled it off. I'm going to tell you that this was not, if this wasn't the best match of both nights, it was one of them. And I am damn proud of all 3 of them. Now, there was some, missed moves, tripping over, but it wasn't that obvious. Being a person in the business and seeing those things like that, I'm apt to see more of that, right? So, I mean, but even if it was obvious to a normal person's eye, it wasn't cringe-worthy. You know what I mean? I would still like to see a little bit more out of Bianca. She's got all the goods. I feel there's more out of her yet. There's more. Not there yet, but more. And I'm hard on her because I see everything in her. And I just call it like it is. But she'll get it. She'll get it. Not there yet. But goddamn, all 3 of them together, fucking shit. My husband was like, Deb, look at you. You're so excited and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I know. I'm just so happy. So damn happy. Just so damn happy.
Yeah, they deserve it. They deserve all of it. And the thing is that the match, in my opinion, far exceeded the expectations that the company set for the fan base with that lousy build that we had to get there. Those women went out and they killed it. Build be damned. And as usual, because it's what we do here. We've got some photos, Madusa.
What?
They may be blurry. Don't yell at me. But look at that ornate robe that Bianca is wearing. We talked about this a little bit last week.
Didn't she make that?
Yeah, she does a lot
I
of
think
her
she makes
own.
all of her stuff and maybe her husband's. She's one talented woman. She's
Yeah,
got so much.
and
She's
I
got
mean, just
oh,
look at it. Just look at it. It is perfect for her. Um, and then you get what you were worried about. There's that standoff with the two of them, and then
oh.
Io right there. Um, but of
This
course,
is everything right here. This is
yeah.
everything.
But you,
That's
yeah, I
what
mean,
changed the fucking that's what changed the tone.
yeah. And when she finally decided it was time to be the little Japanese buzzsaw, I know that was Tajiri, but this is the female version. Here she comes. And then that's the result at WrestleMania, and
Oh,
nobody, Madusa, ever gets to take that away from her.
I
Ever.
know.
How
You
happy are you
guys.
for Io specifically? I know
First
you love
Japanese
Bianca
girl to
and
ever win or just to have that moment at a WrestleMania, guys.
yeah.
First
It's
Japanese girl out all
and
these years.
and I
But
always mess
really, I mean, didn't have let me wait. What about WrestleMania 1 with the Jumping Bomb Angels? Weren't they at WrestleMania?
but they were not the world champion featured in this way. They were the
Mm.
tag team champions. I'll acknowledge that. I believe the
Yes. Let's
Jumping
not
Bomb
forget.
Angels were
Yeah.
the tag team champions, but they were not 41 years later a featured piece that gets that particular image right here. And
God, they got to be proud.
they're making history,
41
Medusa.
years?
41 WrestleManias.
You guys, 41 years. 41 years this shit's been going on. From Japanese and WrestleMania 1 to Japanese WrestleMania 41, it took us that long. What the
Which is also
Ah,
incredible because you have Shotzi there, you have Io there, you have Asuka when she's not hurt. Unfortunately, she's injured, and of course you have Kyrie who was in the building and
yeah.
able to celebrate with Io when she won
Yes.
the match.
It was amazing. She was crying. It was just, oh, what a surreal moment.
And then she gets another moment. Winter pointed it out in the comments about her promo on Raw.
Yes.
She makes a great promo on Raw, despite the language barrier, because we do know she doesn't speak
She did
English.
well.
She did very well.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Winter says Io did so good on the mic. I was excited to see that. And
Mm,
then interesting because I want your opinion on this. She was interrupted by Stephanie Valkyr, who
mm.
also is English as a second language. No, that's not a joke, guys. She does not speak English fluently either. As
No.
you know, Vince McMahon would never have allowed this to happen. Two foreigners on his flagship show that's been on television since 1993, and I know it's on Netflix, not TV. Don't eat me up in the comments.
Yeah, yeah,
But
guys.
but the point is, Madusa, you have two foreigners, smaller ladies, wrestling for the world's women's title after they both cut a promo and English is not their primary language.
Everyone understood it. They took their time. They were quiet. It was respectful. It's because I think people were, when you had her come out and EO in there, you just knew that they were going to have a good match. You knew that the chemistry was going to be good. And not knowing if they've ever even wrestled each other, right? So with Steph and EO wrestling that first time, it was kind of chalky at the beginning, but it was, you know, setting the position basically and building. You can see what's going to happen here, right? So it gives more time, it gives more momentum for maybe Oscar coming back or Katie, just there's so many opportunities here I see happening, and it's so cleansing. It's just so good. This is what gets me excited. I just being in Vegas for WrestleMania and just seeing and doing all the different things I did. One of the things I did was go see the last wrestling match, the musical. And it's bringing me to this situation here is that I know, remember I always say, I fucking hate wrestling. God, I hate wrestling. I don't hate wrestling, but I hate wrestling. I fell in love with wrestling again, sitting there watching that show, the last match. listening and watching a lot of our wrestling stars from Thunder Rosa to Samantha just singing and wrestling and taking bumps and refereeing and all the other great wrestlers that sang as well. It's one show you guys got to see, and it just brought me the love of wrestling. So watching these two in foreigners, two different countries coming together on one huge stage, one of the biggest stages of entertainment, it surpasses the Golden Globes and the whatnot, right? I think the NFL, the fucking Super Bowl, and WrestleMania are almost tied. I don't know, guys, but it's pretty damn close. And watching these two collide, you can see where this is going to go. And I hope they can. Oh, I hope they can continue.
The other item being, we got to see Julia. We got to see Stephanie. We got to see Roxanne Perez.
Madusa, you see where the build-up's going. Yeah.
There was, and Rhea came in at the end, but there was, the main characters in there were not Rhea Ripley. We're not Bianca Belair. We're not Charlotte Flair.
No.
We're not Becky Lynch in this particular instance. We're
Didn't
not
need
Bayley.
Any of them.
This is the new. This is the fresh. And after what we've seen for the last several months, to me, this is extremely refreshing that once again, the focus is back on the women where it should be, because they can, and as Darren Walker says, thinks the women in wrestling in WWE and AEW are better than the men this year. And I
don't know about better, but they sure are getting more recognition and more acknowledgement, more time. I think they're getting more respect backstage. They're understanding. I think they understand the assignment in backstage, the writers, the promoters. I think they're starting to get it. The ones that can deliver and put the story, everything is in story. It's storytelling, people. If you tell the story and you put the story out there long enough, you're going to buy it. You are going to invest. And in that story, not only is it just the wrestler and the referee and the ring, but it's everybody behind the scenes. You have to, if you can get people to invest in that and get a little bit of interest and then milk it, you're going to have, oh my God, the biggest party of all time. I swear. It's going to be good to see. What were you just saying about the, what was that? Red. About the girls.
The future and how they're much more enjoyable than the men.
Yeah. The comment the person made was that they stole the show. I mean, they are that good. They are getting better. And I think what really proved that was the three-way. It really fucking, I'm telling you, that was the best match that night, really.
Fernando, your longtime follower, the women's championship triple threat was the best match of the weekend. He would agree with you, man.
I'm telling you. But I do have to say, Seth Rollins and CM Punk, and that was fucking amazing. No matter, we're going to get into whole, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, I hate three-ways. Oh my God. In Japan, it was always tag teams and three-ways and four-way. I hated them. But if you can get a group of people that can get in sync and put together then that story, my God, those two factions of they stole the show.
Yes, I agree. And I also think this is an interesting comment from Wrestling's Biggest Fan on our X account. Julia is so good. Americans who didn't follow Donna Del Monde or Stardom at all are in for a surprise, as she is a complex character, some of which we've seen on NXT. And of course, she's working with Shawn down there. Does not hurt that she's working with Shawn Michaels to get acclimated to the WWE style of being an in-ring worker, because that's what he's remembered for. No one's ever going to say HBK cut the best promos ever, but they will say he was Mr. WrestleMania. So if that translates, Madusa, Julia's got a good teacher down there, and allegedly
she does. But I see something. Yeah, she's talented as hell. She's really good. I hope we can find that fit. You know what I mean? That positioning. Um, because yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's not there yet.
Well,
Talent, yes, but we've got to find. We got to understand her. We got to understand what she is and what she's doing, and because she's got a wonderful look. She's a beautiful woman, and again, another one that her English is her not her first language, so there's just I understand Io, I understand Stephanie, but I don't understand Julia yet. And Julia was there before Steph. And I already understand Steph. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So there's something lost a little bit right there, which we need to find that.
Yeah, and I think they'll definitely find her voice because again, the other thing I have appreciation for is the injection of Roxanne Perez. You've got Julia, you've got Stephanie Valkyr, you have Io. Maybe they're going to let Io have somewhat of a run with this title now that she's got Bianca and Rhea out of the way for now. And
Mhm.
let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's actually have,
Let her run through the talent.
let's let them display what they're capable of because
Uh-huh.
up to the point where Roxanne Perez interfered in the Raw match last night and Julia,
Mhm.
um, or Monday, I keep saying last night because I'm a
Monday.
day off, but Monday, that was a very good match Stephanie and Io were having.
Yeah, yeah.
Very good match. Like you said, it took them a minute to get going, but once they got going, it's just two very good women wrestlers
Yes.
doing their
Yeah.
thing. And they
Yes.
match up very well size-wise. They're able to do their moves to each other. There is a complex understanding of this is not WWE wrestlers. These are world-renowned international wrestlers who have a
Mhm.
much different style that they're able to show the WWE audience. And I think I really like that aspect of it. Like you know better than anyone. 30 plus years ago when Bull Nakano came to the United States,
Whew.
everybody had their eyes on Bull and not
Yes.
Alundra. And it wasn't because Alundra wasn't worthy. It was because nobody had ever seen Bull.
Yes.
Nobody had ever seen a woman like Bull Nakano. And I think that's what they can do with the Julias and the Roxannes and the Stephanies. You're presenting a different female wrestler with a, like you said, a multitude of angles that they can study.
Yes, yes, we're bringing a whole dimension. I mean, of styles of wrestling instead of just the American style, which everyone has seen and it's been pushed down our throat. Now, I'm not against our own kind by any means, but I like variety just like I like in my jelly beans. You know what I'm saying? I like variety.
Yes, ma'am. We have a comment I'm going to point out here. This is from Nick Larkin. He's on your X account. Hi, Madusa. Hoping to meet you Friday. Nick,
Oh,
5 to 9, Indianapolis Comic Con. I'm sure you're aware that's Madusa's time. 5 to 9. She'll be there. She's traveling tomorrow to make sure there are no snafus. And she'll be
right.
there 5 to 9 Friday in Indy. Just so you're aware,
Oh,
Nick. We did mention that at the top of the show. And I do want to tell you, thank you for joining the show because I haven't seen you before, and we
no,
appreciate it.
thanks, Nick, for
Now,
tuning in, man. Appreciate you.
now what we have seen before, and hopefully we never see again, because we call this a
Jesus, here we go.
transition, Medusa.
Here we go.
It's Tiffy time, and there she is in the dollhouse or the Barbie house, whatever it
Barbie
was.
house, yeah.
She's in the Barbie house. God knows how much they paid for that.
God knows she was in the fucking doghouse. Yes.
So we've got a little fight here. They were very aggressive. The figure eight, and then of course Tiffany retains the women's title. You watch wrestling different than the rest of us because you were in the ring. You were a performer. There has been accusations thrown at Charlotte Flair, Ashley, as you often call her, because you have a personal relationship with her, that she might have been sandbagging Tiffany a little bit, and she might have been a little on the snug side or the stiff side in this match. Did you get any indication that Charlotte may have been a difficult dance partner for Tiffany in this match?
I feel that Charlotte wasn't trying to be difficult on purpose. I feel that there's a time in life that there are transitions. And I also feel that if you are the key player of the company, no matter what you're going through, no matter of good, bad, hardships, indifference, that if you are good with the company and you're loyal and you're working with them, that you would hope the reciprocation is the same. And vice versa with your talent as a company. I don't know because I'm not behind the stage when things happen or words are spoken. However, as we continue in a business as a talent, we time goes on, we get older, and we're replaceable. We're actually replaceable at any time. It doesn't matter if you're at the pinnacle of your career or at the low. Everybody is replaceable. I know that Charlotte knows that now, and I'm not saying she never did. However, I'm sure it's pretty blatant that the writing's on the wall, that there's a transition of talent happening. And I wanted to say this when we were talking about all the international talent coming in and how I like it. But I like how WWE is taking this talent and not waiting so long now to make the change and introduce new talent. So I love that there's newness coming in intermittently, more frequent, instead of just going through long journeys of eras. The diva era, shift, stop, change. Generation, blah, blah, stop, shift, change. I like the flow that's happening where there's intermittent, always newness, change. So you don't get caught up in one thing and you get lost. And I like that for an individual as a talent within a company, within a business, is to protect your own self too. Knowing that the writing's on the wall the first day you walk in there at any time is a great mindset. Also, keeping that open mind that working with older talent or working with younger talent needs to be respect on both ends. Both ends. So if you're a veteran and you're wrestling a newbie coming in that is fast tracking, you do everything possible to make it your best because you're both going to shine, because that's what I would want. No matter what the other personal stuff, which is so foggy, fucked up sometimes, and you just want to fucking punch the person, which it's not their fault, but you just want to do it anyway. Um, you have to go beyond that and, do better, right? So I think with Ash is that Tiffy is fast tracking, and you like her or hate her, the character, because personally she's sweet, she's a nice person, she's it's same as Charlotte, same as Ash. I mean, you meet her, she's nice, they're genuine, the blah 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 blah. But let me tell you, something must be working because people either like her or don't, or or same with Ash or Charlotte, you like her, you don't. But I think people feel that um, Charlotte may have been a little stiff, but I'm going to tell you, if that was me, what I saw in the ring, I probably would had to have led with a little bit of strength as well. Let's put it that way. But I will tell you, the best thing that I saw at the end of that match was at the end with Tiffy standing there with her belt in her hand, holding it up, or it was on her shoulder, and the look she had was like, okay, all right, I see what just happened. I got your number. I understood the assignment, and now I know what I have to do. So, passing of the torch, maybe. Um, Respectfully, she held it together, and kudos to Tiff, really. And overall, I think you got more than what you guys expected out of that match. And tight, stiff, deliverable, they got the job done. There. I digress.
No, not at all. You and I agree. I think that there were moments where they pushed and challenged each other in a very physical and aggressive way. I also think there were a couple spots that they absolutely blew.
Mhm.
Bottom line is, and you didn't say this because you're talking more about the females and the person.
Mm.
They got the match in the ring after all the bullshit.
Yeah.
They still did business and they got
Yeah.
the match in the and
That's
I say the
business.
bullshit because of all the stuff that happened online, all the stuff in the, where
Mhm.
Charlotte just got booed out of Chicago. They got the match in the ring. Now, I don't need to see a rematch personally, but I mean, I've seen it.
Mhm.
And Nick Larkin pointing out here, and he said this is his first convention, by the way. He'll be working a table with Leva, so he did say that Madusa. He hopes to meet you. Looked
Oh,
like
good.
Charlotte almost re-injured her knee at points. Yeah, they were doing some real selling there, and that stupid knee brace was almost a distraction to me. I don't know how you felt about it, but they kept manipulating it and playing with it, I I couldn't tell if it was part of the show or if it wasn't, honestly, because she certainly
Personally, I
didn't.
would have never worn it out there. However, I understand what she's, how she feels. She probably felt like she didn't know how the match was going to go. She was going to give it her all and try to be professional. But to protect her knee, not knowing how it would go, she wore it. Now, 30 years ago or 40, whatever, oh my God, how long it was. When I was in Japan, I tore my uh, meniscus and everything in my knee. And I just had surgery probably 12 weeks, not even. I was back in Japan wrestling and I had my knee brace on. And the knee brace really doesn't do shit. I think it's mind over matter. It can't keep your fucking knee in place, really. It may give you like a little bit of support, but not even. I think it's more of a mind thing. And at this stage, she's, done well without it. And I think she really didn't have to wear it, but I think it was more of a security. Um, I don't maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and like you said, it it could have been for her own mental, because
Yeah.
let's face it, she hasn't had a real wrestling match in this way since she got injured. They had the Rumble. The Rumble, there's a lot of different ways to protect
Yeah.
the talent in the
But
Rumble.
there,
There's also a
anything
lot
can
of ways to
happen
hurt yourself
anytime.
in the Rumble. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, it can
Uh,
happen anytime though, and again, I in 2015 or when was I in the Rumble? When was I?
uh,
Was
you were
2016,
you
guys?
were inducted in
2017?
2015 to the Hall of Fame.
2015 was Hall of Fame. I think it was 2017.
Mortis says 2018, and that would check out because they actually had a first women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cuz 2017 I had a total knee replacement at the end of 2017, and 7 months later I was in the ring wrestling in the Rumble with my total knee replacement. And y'all know that story. If you don't, they knew about my total knee replacement. Got me there, getting ready, go down, went to the warehouse to train to do everything I told them, no big deal, blah, 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 blah. In fact, Ivory, that was my position. I was the one that was supposed to last all the way to the end. That was me. However, by the time we got there, they said, sorry, we're going to pull you and you're going to go out. And Nia Jax is going to throw you out early because of your knee. I said, what? And they said unless you have your surgeon's doctors a note or something from them, we cannot even let you in the ring tonight. So they weren't even going to let me in the ring, guys. So what does a professional do? I knew this, and I knew shit doesn't change, guys. You heard it here first. I already got that letter from an email. It was still in my email. Plus, I copied it and brought it with me. I said, okay. See, I know how some shit don't change, y'all. And you always come prepared. They say always bring your gear. You better bring your fucking legal shit too. I went back, got my paper. I went to the fucking coach's room. I slapped it down. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, there you go. I'm prepared. And they just went, are you sure? I said, yeah. I just I just ran a 5K. They said, yeah. I said, yeah, I ran a 5K. I'm good. And they're right, okay. And I said, just tape it up. I'll be good. No brace? No. And there I went. Just a little tidbit for you guys.
Well, and everybody else remembers it too. Fernando says 2018. Winner says that Rumble was the first time I really started remembering who Madusa was. LOL.
Oh God, child.
Mr. Action Figure says I like Julia, and of course Fernando says good. You're prepared for the BS. So
yes,
you were prepared for the BS is what Fernando was trying to say. So
yeah.
I think that was pretty well received there, Madusa. You know what was not received well by the audience here at Trash Talk, as
What's
well
that?
as us, and we're the host and the co-host. Well, in a word, yeet.
Yeet.
Yeet. So, I'm going to let you respond to my comment here.
Okay.
This was a foregone conclusion. This was never going to end any other way. As much as people wanted, the hardcore Gunther fans wanted to see him squash Jey Uso. This ended one way and one way only, and that was yeet and a world championship reign. Now, because you like the hypotheticals, they built to it. They've done the yeet. We've done all of the celebration. Famous question from Bruce Pritchard. Now what?
Now what? Now what?
You beat Gunther. Now what? So
Yeah,
Madusa,
I
that's
was
my
pissed.
question. Now
Why do
what?
you beat fucking Gunther? I didn't like how that ended. I was pissed.
Yeah,
I'm a Gunther girl. I like what Gunther did to McAfee though.
You and all the internet, they said that Gunther turned babyface by choking out Pat.
It was so good. I think Pat McAfee didn't tune in his buddies from the fucking YouTube channel, and they fucking jumped the thing, and it looked like it was a shoot. It took all the guys were over on them trying to hold them back, and if you notice, the camera wouldn't even fucking shoot on them after a while because they were fucking swinging. It was good. That was good. That was so good. Okay, back on Yeet. Can I tell you the truth? I
Yeah, go
remember
ahead.
this match, but I don't. I didn't. I'm a Yeet fan. I put it out there. There's going to be a Yeetful night, but I just I fizzled after that.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, okay, I'm done.
So for me as a wrestling fan, what this match was is you're going to get the crowd up. You're going to get all 65,000 people screaming yeet, doing the entrance, whatever. The problem I have is this is in Las Vegas, and his entrance is a lot cooler in the dark. I'm just saying. It's a lot cooler when it's dark outside. Unfortunately, it was still bright. But the other thing was they did pull out a few nice little plays with the choke out of Gunther and that sort of thing. Completely unexpected. You know, he hit 3 of his splashes. He hit the super kick. Gunther got some of his offense in, but he finally conquers Gunther because, in a way, I believe this is your feel good moment for the way the show ended on night 1, and we're going to get there because that's our main event. The new Dangerous Alliance, but
oh brother,
I mean, my question is, on Monday Night Raw, you see Big Jim and Sammy come out and celebrate again, and they almost tease a Sami Zayn heel turn where he's standing behind him. They've got the
Mhm.
bloodline history, they've got the Usi history, all that stuff.
Well, I mean, that's
Um,
good. I mean, I could see that happening, people might not like it, I don't know. But I think that would be good. I think, maybe what if he turns heel? You know? I mean, wouldn't it be great if he turned heel and then Naomi's with him?
yeah, so yeah, I mean that could work. Naomi is Jimmy's wife, not Jay's,
I
but
mean, yeah, but oh, I guess screwed that up. Hold on.
no, it's fine. But I mean, it could work. Um,
No, 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 no. I meant, yeah, shit, never mind. I like Naomi, and I for some reason I'm thinking that, oh shit, she's married to Jade. Nope,
well, we didn't even
wrong one, guys.
we didn't even mention Naomi, but in relation to the whole Fatu family, obviously
Yes,
Trinity,
how's that?
Naomi, um, you could have gone talk about a squash match. That could have gone the other way too, where Jade just ate her up. They got a competitive match. They had a decent match, a decent showing. Um, I still think Jade Cargill needs reps, but she
Oh
is
God,
what
yes.
traditional WWE looks for in a woman. She has the look, she has the presence, she has the charisma. I just don't know that she's ready to swim in the deep water yet, particularly if you're going to talk about people like Io, Rhea, Bianca, etc.
Again, there's another one that isn't fully, a single headliner yet. Again, another one being pushed and fast tracked. And if they're not careful, they're going to end up swallowing her. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be, it's going to be ugly, kind of like what they did with Rhonda, right? I just don't want to see that happen to a talent and get so confused and discombobulated and just lost when there's a presence. Sometimes a presence can never deliver, and sometimes they're just a presence. Are you tracking?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Or maybe
What
they're
I'm
just
tracking is
a
sometimes
few
they
hit
walk through,
wonders. Just a few hit
and
wonders.
I'm gonna say I'll quote Bruce Pritchard again, and then the bell rang. You walk to the ring, you look good, and then the bell rang,
And then the
and,
bell rang.
and then the bell.
Not that I
Um,
mean, again, she's got it, but we need to see that next step, right? Bianca was there, but now she's already progressed and she's getting there. She's got a quarter to go, and hopefully she can reach that. Um, yeah, yeah. And Cargill's probably only a quarter way there. I'm sorry. She's got the presence and the walkout, but the when she speaks, I'm gone.
well, and the other thing is when you're looking at pairing her with some of these women that have the ability to eat her up and spit her out, the Julias, the Stephanies, the Eos, the Rias, the
Yes.
Bianca. Um, Trinity Fatu proved she was a team player Sunday
Mhm.
night, Saturday night,
Mm,
when she let Jade win. But Jade had to have her moment too. You have to have the credibility and the believability.
mhm.
On the other hand, you
Yeah,
have to
but
be
that
able to
was all because of Naomi.
correct. And that's what I'm saying. You also have to be able to deliver in the ring.
Mhm. Yes, if that's from walking into the ring, if that is taking it or delivering it, I mean, the best thing you can do is be a hell of a fucking bump taker and selling like a mofo for your opponent. You're gonna get over more. It doesn't matter if you're baby or heel. If you can take those bumps like a motherfucker. And I mean, I'm just gonna use this as an example. There was a move that Bull Nakano did to me. We were in the corner and she would take my hair and it'd be one, two, and she would flip me and I would spin like 5 fucking times in the air all the way down. And it looked like she just ripped off my head, chewed me up, spit me out. But it was nothing. It was me. She did nothing. I took the bump myself. So it's the person that can execute the excellence of the bump to make the person and the match. It's going to sell it. It's fucking unbelievable. It's the most beautiful thing ever. Mm-mm-mm.
Okay, so it's time to run through some of these because they are cracking my shit up over
What?
here. Mr. Action Figure says John Cena rules. I've been a Madusa and Paul Heyman fan since 1987. Two things I never thought would be in the same sentence. John
John's
Cena rules. I've been a Madusa Paul Heyman fan since 1987. It's cracking me up. Mackenzie says Gunther should have passed out, not tap out. Jay making Gunther look weak. Fernando says, Jay, too over right now to turn heel. That's probably true. They're selling a shitload of merchandise.
yeah. Again, just business.
I forget where Steven's from. I think it's out of the country. He says the Cena heel turn is bizarre.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
And here is another Fernando comment. Jade was a beast out there. Mr. Action Figure says Lyra Valkyria is boring. Okay, you're going to catch heat with Deuce over this, but yeah. I'll go ahead and take the heat for you, Mr. Action Figures. I refer to Lyra as C-SPAN because she will put the show to sleep.
Really? I think she's a great talent.
I think she's got potential, but there is not. I have more charisma in my left hand than she has in her entire body.
You don't have any charisma until you show your feet, fucker.
That has nothing to do with charisma.
Yeah, it's Fernando like John Cena and the fucking Paul and I in one sentence in 1987. Okay.
Jade is Goldberg. I could buy that. Jade is Goldberg.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Fernando also says Naomi's a long way since the Funkadactyl days. Mr. Action points out that Rhonda is raising her kids. Good for her. Seriously.
Yes, she's doing a great job and training and brings them to the gym. Rhonda's killing it right now. I hope she shows up at SummerSlam.
And Dirt Track, Jade needs a long-term feud. There you go. Winter says, I learned that lesson about bump taking when I was young. I used to scare people. Well, there you go.
Bump taking? What are you doing? Are you talking about cocaine or what?
My goodness. Apparently, Red, you don't get it. Yes, I am a hater. Thank you, John Smith. I am absolutely a hater of Lyra Valkyrie, and we'll get there in a minute. Mr. Action Figure says Dominic Mysterio is going to be a good champion. Okay, so let's talk about this.
We got a lot to fucking talk about, but before we do, let's get through our list, and I got a lot of shit I want to say. So let's get to the fucking John Cena and Cody.
You want to get to you don't want to talk about Dirty Dom real quick with the mustache and all?
Okay, Dirty Dom and his mustache and his goddamn 70s fucking porn look, whatever. It's working, right? Again, is he a great worker? Yeah. Is he a Nepo baby? Yeah. Is he lucky? Yeah. But he can deliver. He can put everybody's bullshit away by his talent, right? I think they've stuck living him together long enough to where people are finally getting it. It's finally working. I think if they would have pulled the plug on it, it would have been a disaster because it just would have looked bad and cheesy for both of them. Okay, we're trying over here. That didn't work. We're going to try over here. Oh, that didn't work. But what I'm liking about WWE is now when they actually have a plan and they put people together or they have an angle, they're sticking with it. No matter how fucking ugly it is at the beginning or they're trying and it's still not clicking, they're giving it until it fucking does. If they're going to shove it down your throat until you like it, period. Because the whole Liv and Rey Mysterio, the whole fucking Rey and Dom thing, it sucked at the beginning. It was just like, it was like just no, it was weird. The back and forth, he's going with her. No, he's going to go back to her. And I get it. Now that they're together, you can see the whole picture. It makes sense, blah, blah, blah. But I still think there's something there that is going to happen. Something's going to happen there, guys. I'm telling you. Wait, something's going to happen there.
My thought process on Dom, and we're moving on to John Cena because he's a heel now too, is that Dom may not be the very best in the ring, He's still going to make some mistakes of a younger person and somebody who doesn't get as much time maybe as he should. But he owns the crowd. Dominic Mysterio in interviews, in the ring, walking to the ring, backstage, in the skits, whatever you want to call it, Madusa. He is a sports entertainer, and Dirty Dom owns the crowd. He got chicken tendies, got heat with Dominic Mysterio. So he's talking to Chris Van Vliet or whatever the guy's name is about his diet. And all Dominic eats is chicken tenders, I swear to God. And so now he's gotten heat for chicken tenders because that's all he eats, because he has the palate of a child and he's a married man and all this other stuff. So
right, and he doesn't look. I mean, he doesn't look fit at all. He just looks like fucking oatmeal.
yeah, and he certainly doesn't look like his daddy. Ray has stacked on the weight. Let's face it, and I don't mean he's fat. The muscle and the
right. That's what I mean. He's just an average beer drinking guy sitting at the bar
with the mullet.
With the mullet on purpose. On purpose. That's fucking great. The mustache is perfect. The mullet's fucking perfect. Hell yeah. You guys just remember, they're in a position that is rocking the world, and they're still trying to figure it out every day as well. Remember, these are characters. They're trying to embrace it. They're trying to work on it. They're going to fumble. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do whatever. And we're just talking about them as characters. And etc. So,
yep, and we are talking about them as characters, and I actually like Dominic. What I know about him outside the ring as well. Now, an interesting character who was the Make-A-Wish Foundation face of WWE, John Cena, Cody Rhodes.
Did he ever cut a promo and say "fuck them wish kids"
of night 2? He didn't, but he should have.
Right. If he really wanted to get over as a heel, because I just don't, he's not, I don't buy it. He's not a heel, no matter how hard he tries. The straight face, the no, the blah, I just can't. I just can't. If he would have done something, like come out in a Speedo and flip flops and try to be whatever, it would have came across more comedic than a fucking trying to heel. That's not heat. Heat would be, with Cena, is to do something that is like that. Fuck them wish kids. I didn't mean any of that crap. You know what I mean? So if Paul can go off on the roasting segment, why in the fuck couldn't he do something like that? You know what I mean? So not that he really meant it, but if he wanted to get real heat in an instant, he needed to turn that way. And he didn't. That's my feeling.
So my feeling is he doesn't want to do that, which is why they haven't done that, because John
and he
Cena
won't.
Yeah, I don't believe he'll do that.
No.
What I did see, number 17, officially, the 17-time WWE World Champion, Cody here, conflicted, not hitting Cena with the belt. Out comes some bullshit Travis Scott. This is what we get at the end of the night. John Cena. The next night on Raw, Randy Orton sneaks up behind him, hits him with the RKO, and we're off to the races like it's 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. We're going to get Randy Orton in his home city of St. Louis against John Cena at Backlash for the World Championship.
Oh boy.
Universal Championship, whatever they call it. Madusa, on the topic of the Cody and Cena match, and I want you to respond to this because I'm probably going to get some heat from your people. I honestly didn't think John Cena was that bad in this match. But remember, the only
in
other
which way? By wrestling, or you talking promo?
His wrestling was that bad. Here's why. I watched him in Royal Rumble, and that was terrible, and he wasn't great in the Elimination Chamber either. So at least this was not awful to me. I've seen that it's slow. It's not fast enough. It's not, intriguing enough. I've seen all those comments. What did you think about the way the match went and how it ended?
Okay, so the whole build-up, I'm sure that now I'm sure they have the writing reasons. I'm sure they know the ideas and program. They know everything we don't. We just go by what we see and we speculate, blah, blah, blah. So, Tripp got on a program and said, all you podcasters out there that sit there and dissect our shows, y'all are fucking, I can't remember what he said, but telling us we're not doing our job right, or you don't think this is good, or they should do it this way. Well, we ain't gonna tell you shit, or I can't remember what he said, guys, but it's out there. See if you guys can find it. But anyway, I think that I said that because of me, saying what I think and feel on this is I feel that they wanted the Ric Flair era over with behind them. And so now they can always gloat and say it was John Cena with the 17-time world championship, right? And run those reigns forever. New time, new era, bury the old, too much stigma, bullshit with the, what I heard someone say when I was there is that someone said it was like, too much negative and stigma bullshit with the Ric Flair name with the championship. Well, guess what, guys? He's always going to be that 16-time world championship. You can never take it away from him. You can't change history as much as people want to change fucking history. So yeah, I'll blow it out your ass anyway, you know. Um, but there is now it's a new breed, it's a new time, a new era. Now they can gloat on this, right? Now they're going to swim with his name and carry on with this forever. I feel that, what do you do with this now? You build Cody up so much for this just to turn around and do that. There's got to be an angle that they know that they're going to do that we don't know. And for Cody to lay down and take it like that, I mean, hey, he's a team player, right? But no one liked this outcome. You thought he did good, but did you really like this outcome?
So no, I did not like this outcome,
No.
and that is because I'm going to say in a very loud and clear voice,
Oh boy.
fuck you, Dwayne Johnson. You ruined WrestleMania, and now we have all had our Starcade moment revisited when Hogan and Sting, or Hogan rather, and Bischoff fucked Starcade after an 18-month build. What we got from a year-long
Oh.
build of the final boss is Dwayne Johnson taking his fucking ball and going home because his crybaby wine ass ideas didn't make it through the cutting room floor. And now his bitch ass goes on McAfee to play politics because he's a TKO guy and blah, blah, blah. The bullshit this man spewed for 40 minutes yesterday is better than anything I could come up with a week's worth of fucking notice. So
I only got a little bit of him on McAfee saying, "Oh, it was a great match and it was good, but I just couldn't, I couldn't be there or something." And I'm like, "Why? What was that?" I can't remember, but I don't know why, but I think that, as you said, I think there was a lot of boys playing in the sandbox and a bunch of toys, and I think he decided to grab his and leave the sandbox for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it'd be wrong of me to sit here and say this, and this when I don't know. But again, maybe they want you to feel that way, Red. Maybe that's what they want. And they're going to
so
come out with something else.
So our friend on Twitter here, wow, Lorenzo, thank you for joining us, Lorenzo. I appreciate your comment. The Rock ain't ruined shit. Y'all trying to finish the story before it's finished. Okay, I can appreciate that, Lorenzo.
See, that's what
Here's
I was just saying, what Tripp was saying about people doing podcasts like you guys are talking about, you guys don't know shit, blah, 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 blah. Now, remember, as I said, if you were listening, wow, Lorenzo, is that we don't know the story. We don't know anything. These are just perceptions and how people feel and what they think. People can talk about how they feel. And if you don't like it, Lorenzo, that's okay. But they're just saying what they think. So, okay. You think your way, he thinks his way.
And this is what I think. This was a 15-year-old talking shit about the first time he was going to have sex, and it ended up awkward and very brief.
Who?
That's what happened at WrestleMania 41, thanks to
Oh,
The Rock. So that is my
fucking
opinion.
A.
You're welcome. You're welcome, ma'am, because we've all been there. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so we've got some interesting.
Oh, my God.
We've got some snippets from Mr. Dwayne's interview with
Fernando
McAfee.
says, look, and he agrees with you, though. The Rock is becoming Hogan when it comes to backstage politics. And it says, I can. Oh my God. Agreed, Andrew. The Rock needs to stay away from creative plans. I don't know
And
who's in charge. Who's in
well,
charge of
the
these
dick joke,
plans?
I'm so proud, Red. Yeah. Well, I mean, y'all have been waiting a year for it. So I finally broke it out.
But who's coming up with these plans and who has the final say? Because guys, if Rock does have the final say, he's the one that came up with all of this then.
Yes.
If but
And
I don't think he has the final say. He has what, 40% of the comp or TKO holdings allegedly.
yeah, I think some of that's bullshit. The dogs are barking, just so you're aware. But I think that's
Is that
bullshit.
your
I think
feet or the dogs?
the dogs, the actual dogs, not the feet. Although I did go to the gym this morning, you would have been proud. Anywho, don't derail me, lady. The I think that's actually just part of the bullshit story, but he is on the TKO board, and the whole deal with Ari Emanuel asking for his help to help sell out Elimination Chamber,
Yeah.
hot garbage. Because
Really?
you can go to WrestleTix on Twitter. They do an excellent job tracking how well events are performing.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, folks, Elimination Chamber would have sold out without The Rock trying to get the soul of Cody Rhodes.
Maybe he feels like, if it was Dwayne's way, WrestleMania this year would have done a lot better, and maybe he felt as stepping away, they wouldn't have done so well. Go ahead, do it your way. You're gonna, but fail. That's how some people thought. But why would he want it to fail, guys? Come on, he doesn't want it to fail. He's involved.
No, Triple H and The Rock don't want it to fail. I mean, that's
No.
very, very clear. So The Rock, we're gonna buzz through some of this. He had the conversation, nothing but
Oh,
high praise for the event on Saturday.
yeah.
So Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker stuck out to him to the chat. Are we Jacob fans? Are we
I
Braun
am a
fans?
Jacob Fatu fan. I am like the biggest cheerleader. I'm not a Braun Breaker fan. I just see him as a Paul Heyman guy wanting to be the replacement of fucking Brock Lesnar.
It's an
No.
interesting statement, ma'am. I am not going to criticize, but if you remember back in 2002, the night after WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar makes his debut. He's the next big thing, the free agent, the national wrestling champion out of the University of Minnesota. And what did we see last night? Oh, wait, don't answer that yet because we're going to get there. But the idea being the
While
same.
Lorenzo set you straight, by the way. Go ahead.
Did
Yep.
he? Sweet.
Wait, I
Let's
don't.
see what Lorenzo said. The Rock said he called by Emmanuel to get a sale tickets in the end. That implies Triple H is in charge. Ari jumping in from time to time. WWE sold more tickets in EC24. Maybe Ari saw that number. Lorenzo,
Oh,
I appreciate
yeah.
the dialogue, but this is what I will say, my man. They were well on their way to selling those tickets out. Ari Emanuel, outside
Mhm.
of The Rock, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, maybe Rhea Ripley,
Yeah.
he couldn't name the mid card lineup inside the WWE because his job in TKO is not to know these people. It's to put on the
To
events, make
put
the
on the
money, and move on. And that's
yep.
it. So
Ka-ching. There you go.
I would argue, and this isn't to be a dick. I would argue that his focus is business, ticket sales gate. So it makes
Yes.
sense that The Rock's going to put that out there. The problem with that is you can go back to WrestleTix and see the progression
Look at the history. Yeah.
up to where they made that. The final boss, I believe, was done on February 21st. The event was March 1st. The whole point being that they had all that time. And again, we each have our own perspectives. I respect and appreciate yours, Lorenzo. I
Mhm.
just don't believe
Absolutely.
it. I don't believe what Dwayne Johnson said on the Pat McAfee show.
I think that was just a filler. Right.
Well,
Right.
and the other
Okay.
thing he said was he did like Jacob Fatu. So Jacob wins the U.S. title from LA Knight. I know you like
Yeah.
LA Knight too.
Guys, yeah, I thought him and LA had a great match.
Great.
I'm a fucking LA Knight fan. I really am. And I'm gonna tell you, LA Knight, I feel like I saw more out of him that night than I have seen in any of his matches. Am I wrong? Like I saw some good shit out of LA Knight.
Yeah, I think you saw some good shit, but I also think that Jacob Fatu is head and shoulders above most of the WWE wrestlers at this point, and it's just a matter before he's the next big thing, not Braun Breaker.
Oh, Braun
Uh,
Breaker reminds me of lack of charisma, a Goldberg. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Goldberg has his entrance, he has his thing, and duh-duh-duh, that's it. Braun Breaker, I'm not into the gimmick, let's say. I'm just not into it.
Well, he's going to bark, and you're going to hear the siren, and here he comes, and he's going to do the spear and that sort of stuff. And I mean, it
Yeah.
works. The problem is he speared Roman, and Roman's move is the spear. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I think we got sidetracked, but anyway, LA Knight, they had a
Yes.
really good match. Speaking of really good match, it closed out um night one, and for the combo platter, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, for the action meets the storyline, I thought, if you will, ma'am, I thought Paul Heyman in the corner of CM Punk, the video package of CM Punk before he comes out third, Roman in the middle, of course, Seth out first so everybody can sing his song. I thought the video package was well done. Paul's execution of being in the corner was well done up until he stood behind Roman because it was very obvious he was going to turn. We had laid this out. I didn't play my own clip, but I laid this out for you 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, where the disruptor and the architect and the visionary and the advocate become a paired item.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Because at some point the bloodline has to die. And this is how you kill
I
it.
think after 5 years, I mean, it can go on intermittently now with kind of like what I was saying, the new talent coming in, the old one. Now, it may not be called the bloodline. Maybe it's going to be, a continuation of the, you know, just like the mafia families. They're all over the place. You know what I mean? Different breed, new time.
Yeah, so La Cosa Nostra, every time I think I'm out, they suck me back in. And really, what's sucking us in is right here. Heyman, he hands the chair to Roman, and then Roman, of course, gets the ball shot, the turn. That's how the match ends. Mocking CM Punk, mocking Roman Reigns. That picture, ladies and gentlemen, was intentional. The cross legged sitting by Seth Rollins, the
Yeah.
standing throwing the one by Paul Heyman. A new era has begun. Is it the Dangerous Alliance, Madusa? Who
Why
knows?
why you why you throwing that at me? You want to get heat?
Let's get heat. Go ahead. Is it the new Dangerous
You're a
Alliance?
dick. I'm gonna throw a dick at you. I'm just big fucking dick. I'm gonna plunger it right to your head. No, no, there'll never, ever, ever be another Dangerous Alliance. It'll never, ever be another DA. Ever, ever. So there's that. And as far as Becky's stance and her turning on Valkyrie, um, you saw that coming anyway, you know. Her coming out. I believe she's Irish as well. Her mentor, blah blah blah, building her up, and then her turning heel. Well, her husband turned heel, so she's going to be heel, and they know they're going to be beloved heels. Like they know people are going to love them. It's another thing where either you're that heel that you're going to get people to hate you, or you're going to sit there and be a heel and be loved. I mean, which one is it? So, and I love the fact that if Seth and Becky can pull it off, and they are the ones that you love to hate or hate to love, or you just completely hate, I think a good heel is if you actually have heat as soon as you step out on that fucking ramp. I mean, pure heat. Not people that are going to chant your name and laugh and call your things and da 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 da. When's the last time you saw a real true heel? Nasty fucking mean heel, right? So if that's going to take place, then they got a lot of work, right? And so somebody put out there today, it's going to be, I don't know if you have that tweet, but if we're talking about the match and talking about a dangerous alliance, somebody put out there that, hey, Becky could be the first Paul Heyman girl. And I stared at that for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Is this a rib, or they just don't know? I wonder how young they are, or do they not do their research?" So I kinda looked and did my research, and I'm thinking, this person probably wasn't born before 2008 or something, you know? I don't know. Shit. But
So,
what?
not to cut your train of thought off, but here it
Yeah.
is. As of earlier today, 14,000 likes, 755, 234 tweets.
Jesus.
Heel Cena says after turning heel, Becky Lynch is expected to become the first Paul Heyman girl. Both Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins together with Paul Heyman as their wise man. So, Heel Cena, a history lesson for you. In 1991, the Dangerous Alliance, the greatest wrestling faction not celebrated, was created, and it included the director of covert operations, Madusa, MADUSA, the CEO or COO of the Dangerous Alliance, Paul Heyman, and Rick Rude, Steve Austin, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Larry Zbyszko.
Mm.
7 Hall of Famers. 7
Well, is
people
Bobby
that
Eaton
Bill Watts didn't know what to do with, and they became the greatest wrestling faction in professional wrestling history. If they'd been allowed to live longer than a year,
could you
the Dangerous
imagine?
Alliance would have surpassed the Four Horsemen. I said it April the 23rd, 2025. Send your hate tweets to @30year fan, but you don't have a better array of talent ever assembled than the Dangerous Alliance. So
And
whoever heel Cena is probably thinks Cena is also the GOAT, which would be incorrect.
Yeah,
But that's okay. It's probably an age
it's
thing. We
okay.
won't criticize heel Cena. Becky Lynch, not the first Paul Heyman gal. There's only one, and you can get her shirt at Madusa.com. Nice to meet
Aw,
you. Don't fuck with me.
don't
Thank
fuck
you,
with
Paul
me.
Heyman.
My first words to Paul Heyman, which my shirt is available, yes, on,
Yeah.
what's that other
Nice to meet
T-shirt company?
it says nice to meet you. Don't fuck with me. The other
Yes.
one is the Uranus, Missouri that you got me. Yes,
Oh,
from Uranus.
from Uranus. No,
From
Uranus, not
Uranus.
my anus.
Yeah. So from Uranus. But I don't, Medusa. Speaking seriously about the
Yeah.
Dangerous Alliance and this
Uh-huh.
idea, Wade Keller floated it on his post show that he really likes this idea of going back to history and trying to put together a faction that resembles the Dangerous Alliance. And
Oh,
it's
that's
cute and
cool.
it's clever to
Yeah,
call it the Dangerous Alliance. And I know you know Wade. I know you respect Wade and what
yeah.
he's done for the wrestling business. But there's only one. There's only one Dangerous Alliance. And I don't know that it would be beneficial to try to retread history in a more serious note. You were part of the group. The iconic image of you climbing the cage, kicking Paul's head off, battle of the sexes,
Throwing the
uh,
phone in the cage.
throwing the phone,
To
getting
Arn
chased by
Anderson, a
Sting.
standoff on top the cage against Sting, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody knows those images, but is there a way that WWE could even come close to putting that much talent together and to have that significant of an impact in a world where we've had the Horsemen, we've had the Dangerous Alliance, we've had the NWO, we've had the Bullet Club, you've had the Bloodline for the last 5 years. Is that even a possibility to have Dangerous Alliance 2025?
I mean, okay, so different era, different time, different name. Sure, absolutely. Of course, we know that there's never gonna be another Four Horsemen or, nothing, none of the factions. There never will be the same, right? Dangerous Alliance, nobody. But can they emulate them? Could they, be something different? And, yeah. But as long as you see Paul involved, they're going to relate to that and that they need to. So here's my thought on this. I think that if they do something like that of that taste, I think they since Paul's involved, the only way they can do it is if they do it with him glitching. Glitching. You know what I mean by glitching?
Mm-hmm.
They're showing them, they're doing their thing. All of a sudden, he's there talking. All of a sudden, the video of him all of a sudden goes, and it shows him back in the DA or something, right? And then all of a sudden it's back to him talking to talent, and all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden there's a picture of him and Arn and Steve, Stone Cold, right? I mean, how fucking cool would that if he were to put that together and develop something, an apparition of the DA, um, and then have cameos of certain people um, coming alive within the glitch and haunting Paul. That would be so good. And the talent. It would be so good.
And that to me is the question mark.
That'd be
WWE is
so
loaded
cool.
with professional wrestlers, but your talent right now, presumably, you could start to fill it out. You've got Heyman, the COO of the Dangerous Alliance, or of this faction. You have Rollins as the presumptive leader, the Rick Rude of this particular organization. Becky Lynch would be Madusa, MAD-USA, presumably.
Mhm.
Braun Breaker, I guess, is
Steve Austin?
Austin, maybe?
Maybe.
Because Austin had the TV title at the time, but
Yeah.
he wasn't as big up and coming as he was.
Right,
He
that's
wasn't
same.
a technician of a Bobby or an Arn, and he wasn't a legend, no pun intended, of Zabisco, who actually did wrestle Bruno and held the AWA World Championship and all those things. So
Yeah.
maybe because he's the guy that you see the brightest star right now, and then you bring in a Miro has been suggested, a Rusev, not Miro, but he made his return last night or Monday night on Raw. A lot of things they could do.
LA
I
Knight is a Paul Heyman guy, let me tell
is a
you.
Paul Heyman,
I
correct.
think so. I think so. So I think even him would have a good part, like, as a Rick Rude. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Well, and then there's talk of do they bring in Jacob? And if you bring in Jacob, all of a sudden the composition is not the Dangerous Alliance because the
Yeah.
Dangerous Alliance was 6 talkers and 7 workers. No offense, Bobby. But Bobby Eaton benefited from Paul Heyman being there. Arn
Yes.
didn't need him to talk. You didn't need him to talk. Rude didn't need him to talk. Sabisco didn't need him to talk. Austin certainly didn't need him to talk. Now,
No.
early in the career, they all of you benefited from Paul being the talker, but you didn't need him. Bobby needed him. Bobby
Yes.
always needed Cornette. Bobby needed Paul,
Yep.
and it worked. It worked because all he did was wrestle, and he couldn't tell you how he did it. He was so good. But Rude was a technician. Austin, Sabisco, Anderson, and Bobby. These are
Oh, yeah.
5 legit professional wrestlers in WWE, Madusa. What 5 do you have that could even emulate that?
God. I as we were talking, though, I would put LA Knight in there, definitely. And, I guess Braun Breaker, um, Fat 2 doesn't need to be in there because he's a man, something. No, I don't see him in that. He's his own entity. You know what I mean? Like Rick Rude was, but he was a part of an alliance, but still did his own thing. But I still see Fat 2 bigger than that. Um, so you've got LA Knight, you got Braun Breaker. I just, yeah, just I mean, and Seth. Seth is who? He's kind of he reminds me of a Zabisco, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I don't. Huh?
my opinion is Seth is Rude because he's the
Rude?
leader. He's the upfront guy.
Really?
He's the leader. He's the leader.
Hmm.
That's why this isn't going to work. Like I can poke holes all day and why the
Yeah.
Dangerous Alliance was one of one of one and will never, ever, ever be replicated. Can't do it. Can't do it. Because
God,
you're
there's
not going
just.
to find 7 people of Hall of Fame caliber talent mid card, because that's basically what they all were in the mid
Mhm.
card somewhere that can not only feed off of each other and team together and wrestle.
Oh,
That's the
talk
biggest
about
difference.
all getting along too. Oh my
Yeah,
god. As a
yeah.
group, they were just shined. It was so beautiful just seeing them all work together. Oh my god. I see Fat too like a Vader on his own. You know what I mean?
He's special. He's special.
Yes.
He
Yes.
cuts that promo, tells you he's America's most wanted. I'm going to come kick your ass, and that's exactly what he does. And I saw Jacob Fatu a couple years ago at the Wrestling Showcase in Chicago,
Hmm.
and he was probably 30 or 40 pounds heavier, and he was intimidating and badass then. Now that he's slimmed down, he moves even faster than he did back then, Madusa. I mean, just the nutritional change or whatever he did.
Oh, yeah.
Dude is incredible.
You know,
And
what
he's
about
good on the
CM
mic.
Punk or someone said Drew McIntyre?
Drew McIntyre makes more sense than CM Punk because CM Punk's got to be Sting. In this equation, if you're going to run the Dangerous Alliance,
Oh, okay.
CM Punk's got to be Sting. Really, CM Punk's Madusa, but that's the end of the story, not the beginning. So CM
Whatever.
Punk's got to be Sting. And because I don't think Roman will be Sting. I don't think Roman Reigns is going to be the Sting guy in this equation.
Mm-mm.
Because
No.
you ain't going to let Roman get beat too many times by the Dangerous Alliance, regardless of who they put in that faction.
Mm-mm. Look at Rick. Mm-mm.
So Rick didn't get beat often.
No.
So,
No, no, no.
but I think,
That's fucking great. I don't
yeah, I
know,
didn't
but
mean to go on a
it's
diatribe,
interesting.
but I will defend the Dangerous Alliance until I am dead. Like 100% will defend them. Even
God, but look at
Larry.
all the shit that Paul and I went through. Look at all the angles that we did.
Yep.
The match him and I had, he walked all the way back to the back, and we didn't have this planned. I fucking went back there and I just picked his ass. I carried him all the way back from the back curtain all the way to the fucking stage, dude. Just crazy. And Michael Hayes was out there, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, Michael Hayes helping him get ready for the fight. I remember that on the Clash of Champions,
Yeah.
November '92, before you and Paul left. But
Mm.
the question or we talked a lot about the good stuff in Mania.
Yeah.
This has not been a well-received WrestleMania, though. You know, we've got The Rock in his comments about how he was the final boss. He thought that the taking of Cody's soul was a test. He didn't need to be involved, although
But he did say it.
yeah, but my opinion is as a wrestling fan, the creative revolves around you. This angle is about you. You convinced John Cena to turn heel. He beat Cody down along with you and Travis Scott, and you did not show up at WrestleMania. So there have been fans online, as well as commentators, podcasters, the people Triple H directed those comments at, that have said this WrestleMania sucked.
Mm.
I think the main event sucked. I don't necessarily think the WrestleMania sucked, but we have some shots you sent me of the online social media cover.
Yes.
This one's from Wrestling Days. Credit to Wrestling Days. WrestleMania 41 showed off worst of TKO. McAfee shouldn't be on commentary. He's awful, only involved so that he can use his show and star power. Sponsorships everywhere. Ring looks like a mess. Mascots in the ring. Wrestlers awful. Travis Scott, major aspect of the main event. Triple H can tell us after is how much Travis loves this. The Rock inserted himself in the build, teased a cryptic gesture, then wasn't available. Ticket prices, extortionate, which
Yeah.
loyal fans pay only WWE to brag about Record Gate. This was the Raw on Netflix premiere
Record
done.
gate revenue because they do all
Yep.
the time. Yeah.
Although, and I have that victory lap they did here in just a second, ma'am. Although saying that, The Rock actually showed up for that one. So Wrestling Days, very, very critical. This is what he was referring to. This is the press release talking TK Holdings, that the Alliance Stadium, the most successful, highest grossing event in company history. Ladies and gentlemen, that just means everybody paid. The gate,
Paid more money.
124,000 over 2 nights. You know what that cost. 114% up from last year. Merchandise up 45% versus the previous Mania. highest grossing event of all time. Additionally, e-commerce sales up 86%. Sponsorship of 28 partners. There you go. That's where all those, the drumsticks and the prime and the, I can't even remember who all sponsored this thing, Madusa.
I don't know. It's so all over the mat. It just look. I have to agree about the mat situation. I think that if they could put those other little sponsors that are all over the mat, because when you get an aerial view, I mean, it just looks like just it just looks like a mess. And I'd rather have a clean looking ring inside. And if you have to put the sponsors, put them on the damn turnbuckles. Just tell them pay for the turnbuckles. The one on top pays the most, then the middle, then the bottom, or vice versa, whatever. And that's fine. But in the ring on the mat, it looks like a circus. I don't like it. I don't like the sponsors on the mat. I would love to have one big ass sponsor pay their big fucking price and put it in their goddamn middle. That's it. One, if they're going to do it. That's my feeling on that. That's just my.
So over 2 nights, they had 28, and I absolutely believe it because each match ended up with almost an individual sponsor plus everything else going on during the show.
You mean as in commercial breaks and shit?
Yeah, and the commercial breaks and everything else because it's still, I'm not paying for premium Peacock because I pay for enough of these streaming services.
Yeah.
So I ended up with the commercials instead of watching the builds, which of course you've already seen the video packages and everything prior to the show itself.
Yeah.
So we have other things real quick because I know we gotta bounce.
Yep.
I don't understand this heel turn at all. And someone says, "Be patient, let Triple H cook." So we mentioned it. Becky, presumptively the Paul Heyman gal, good for her. Turns heel. You said you saw it coming a mile away. I would agree with that.
Yes.
They don't have a well-established heel in WWE. That Charlotte is not it. For the fans anyway. The other thing was it was very daring to.
But if they want Charlotte to be a heel, I feel they should have dropped the title to her so they can really push the Nepo, get more heat and her really change her attitude and become that horrible heel. I think that could have been done and then have Tiffy win the belt back, whatever, fucking on Raw. I mean, if you wanted to build a damn good heel and keep it going with her and milk her whole time there, just get it done with and go for it. And I feel like they wanted to keep on Tiff because they're pushing on Tiff and blah, blah, blah. I didn't like the outcome. I would have given it to Charlotte. If you want some fucking heat, that's what should have been done.
Here's my question. Now we're going to sidetrack because I've wanted to ask you this for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Are there actually any heels in wrestling these days?
That's what we were talking about this whole fucking podcast. Like, where is that real heel? I remember, guys, Vince was brilliant back in the day. When we had all the controversy with the war going on in Iraq and Iran and blah, 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 right? I mean, the shit seems never to stop. But anyway, who came out? Who did he put out there? And I mean, it was, who was it? The Sheik? Who was it? I can't remember. But that is knowing when to market your heat. Why aren't we doing stuff like that right now? Is it because why? Scared culture? But yet they can go and flip people off live on TV. They can tell you to fuck off. They can say bad things to your woman and they can roast you like you're a first class society piece of shit rat slut in the sewer of New York. I mean, my God, all of that is okay, but we can't actually milk our situations that are really happening and go back to what works as a heel. There's my answer. Let's bring it back.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at is I just don't see personally that people want to be real heels.
Mm-mm.
You worked with one. His name was Ravishing Rick Rude. He walked.
Heel. Look at what he said. Yeah. Well, look at some of the shit he said. Why are people scared to say that? Look what Rock did to Vicky as he sang the guitar. That was the best heat ever. Like they loved it because they could. The Vicky Guerrero got the best heat. And when he said, "You're ugly trash ass, whatever," he was. Do you guys remember that promo? And when The Rock sat there in the middle of the ring and played his guitar and told sang what's his name song, fucking Eric Clapton song with his own words. I mean, it was fucking hilarious. And fucking Vicky was one of the best heels ever. She was one of the best heels ever as a woman. Who else was there? Sherry was a good heel. Absolutely. Who else would stick out that actually could get heat?
Moolah was a real heel in real life.
Well, okay.
Randy Orton, circa 2009, when he was serial killer Randy Orton, kicking everybody's
Yeah.
heads off. He got heat. He got heat.
Okay, why can't we do something like that? Everyone's so scared of their fucking image, but yet they're saying this is entertainment, we're actors and stuff. Well, then act on it. Show me a real heel. Show me.
CM Punk is a real heel in real life. And,
Oh, shut up. You and your fucking I'm boing 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 poking your eyes.
But no, CM Punk did play a really good heel back in the day. Kevin Owens, pretty good heel back in the day. But what I'm getting at is there are so many tweeners now, Madusa.
Yes.
Uncommitted to being
a tweener pop star. I don't you know what I mean? They just want to be popular and a tweener populist. I don't know. Fuck.
Let's wrap her up with a couple other things.
Okay.
Because you sent them to me, so blame you.
I know. I don't care. Bring it, bitch.
Maybe the roast of WrestleMania was a bad idea because everyone left the event more racist than they were going in. Somebody replies, "I'll allow."
So why can't we do this as a heel? Why can't someone be like that on actual TV and be a heel? Why does it have to be a roast? Bring it to the fucking arena, baby.
Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, I think roasts suck. And the reason for that is it's just one bad joke after another. Some of them hit, some of them don't.
And they're real things that people want to say, but they get by with it because it's a roast.
Yeah. So I have a roast story for you. I don't think I've ever told you this.
Okay,
so you know Connie, old Conrad Thompson of Ad Free Shows. Connie. So
your best friend.
My best friend. He did the roast of Ric Flair in Chicago. Mm-hmm. After 3 or 4 years, Flair finally got to Chicago. It's also where we did the Mongo benefit, which is why I'm passionate about it. But Flair's known to stand people up, once or twice, and 5 ex-wives. But anywho, that's not what we're talking about. So they did the roast of Ric Flair, and I worked the event, and it was 4.5 or 5 hours.
Oh boy!
And some of these jokes absolutely missed. And you had Tori Wilson there, and people made fun of Tori, and you had somebody else there.
What did they say about her? What did
they were making fun of her looks and her sex icon and all this other stuff, which, for her career, that's what she was known for. It's not disparaging. It's a fact. Yeah. Bubba gets up there. Bubba Ray Dudley's up there. And he says, well, I could roast Ric Flair, but I'm going to do something else. I'm going to tell everybody how great Ric Flair is. And he killed the show, like live. Now, the good news is about roasts is they cut all that crap out. But he killed the show live by doing a Norm Macdonald sort of imitation of what he did to Bob Saget back in the day. It was pure trash. It was so bad. But it was 4.5 hours of these B-level comedians that haven't made their own Netflix special yet, sitting there roasting the Nature Boy. And you and I could have told better jokes because we actually know some of the stories. They were just there to make jokes about somebody. And of course it was all the philandering and the drinking and all the rest of the stuff. And it just wasn't good. So I don't like roasts in general. But what I did hear is that Nia Jax cut loose on this roast and let Charlotte Flair hold it, but in an event, to your point, not televised and intentionally not recorded.
Wait, what? Wait a minute. Nia Jax let her have this roast.
No, Nia Jax got up there. Apparently she let Charlotte hold it according to what's on Twitter. I haven't
What does
seen
that
it.
mean? What does that mean?
Oh, she confronted her, told her how she's worthless, nobody likes her, she'd be better off going back to her 3 ex-husbands. She's
Nia
not done
Jax
anything
said
for
that.
business. About Charlotte, yes, ma'am. That's the
And that was
report.
a roast?
Yeah, there was a roast of WWE, that roast they're talking about the
Yeah.
racist thing, because the way Paul Heyman opens up the commentary on Puerto Rico or whatever. They are now talking, now there's other things leaking out from that roast, including
Why
apparently,
doesn't anyone have any video of it?
well, there are videos, they're leaking out slowly on Twitter. WWE chose not to record and broadcast it as an event. Doesn't mean they
That's
didn't
probably a
record
good
it.
thing that they didn't.
Can you imagine the shit they're saying though? Really? Really? Yeah.
How did they okay, so if Nia Jax said that about Charlotte, what she didn't have anything to say about Dwayne?
No, don't think so. Because she's probably employed because of who Dwayne is to her. I said
Well,
that, not Madusa.
I don't okay, so there's connections with some people, I get it. But,
No, it helps you
you
get the
know,
conversation started at the very least, though. If you know somebody in a business, it
yeah,
helps you
why
get,
wouldn't you want to
yeah,
try
it
to
helps you
reach
get
out
an
and see?
introduction at the very least.
Yeah, kudos
But
to her then.
I actually don't have a problem with Nia Jax. I think she's a
I don't
beautiful
either.
woman.
I
I
like
think
her.
I
I
do.
like her. I let her throw me over the top rope, and everyone was saying, "Oh God, she's gonna hurt you, Deuce. Don't let her touch you. She's a piece of shit in the ring. She's this, she's that." And I'm like, guys, y'all are fucking flag. Yep, shut the fuck up. And I will tell you, she was the lightest, the easiest, and it was great. And I love Naya because I know sort of like who she is in person, and I love her wittiness. She's quick, she's witty, she's funny. She don't take no shit. She has her own mind, and she ain't gonna deal with anybody's shit. She stands alone. Period. Y'all don't know her, and I'd hang with her. I would.
I've had the pleasure of having a short conversation with Nia Jax, and she couldn't have been nicer and more
Mhm.
charming. And watching the way she treats fans,
Yeah.
genuinely, a lot of respect for her. A lot of respect
Oh,
because again,
good, good.
you're talking about going to Indianapolis, Medusa. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly of wrestling conventions. Nia Jax couldn't have been more gracious with her time. Um,
Wow. Someone just said it's reported Nia Jax wow, Lorenzo. Roasted Cody Rhodes, Pat McAfee, Charlotte Flair, Michael Cole, and Roman Reigns.
mhm.
Oh, she got on Roman.
Yeah, no one is safe. No one is safe.
See, I like that though. Good for her. She
Well, and
picked
if you're going
everyone.
to roast somebody, that's kind of the deal. Like listening to Bay Arthur read Pamela Anderson's book that was about a sex spot superhero or whatever she was hilarious. Listening to Dorothy from the Golden Girls reading a sex book that Pamela Anderson wrote, like a novella, that
Yeah.
was hilarious. But see, they edit the roast, so who knows how long Bay Arthur actually read that book. Um,
Oh.
uh,
Ah.
that was funny. I recommend that one for anybody who hasn't seen it. Let's see. Is this the one? Oh, here we go. Last topic.
Oh
Zoe
boy.
Stark. I grew up believing women had,
Zoe. Can you believe
had to
Zoe
fight
put this
twice as
out?
hard. Yeah. Had to fight twice as hard, respect in the business. Is this sports entertainment or OnlyFans? Evolution with a question mark. Medusa, we call you a trailblazer, an icon, as somebody who has helped fight for women's rights. Mickey James 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago made a statement about coming out in bikinis. Liv Morgan was all the way live at WrestleMania and knew exactly what she was doing with that outfit, as did Tiffany, Charlotte, and Bianca knew what she was doing with her outfit. Rhea Ripley knows exactly where the camera is and where to stand when she comes out in the outfit she wears. Not criticizing or making fun of it. Sex sells. It's part of the business. But is this a fair criticism? Is this a fair criticism in 2025?
You know, who am I to say anything about the women and how and what they want to flaunt, right? I just know that, you know, all through my career, I tried to protect all of it. And then I got caught up in the bullshit in WCW and even got my tits larger because I felt the pressure, but made my own decision. No one made it for me. And, again, I just said, fuck this ain't for me. And then, decided, I hate the way women are being treated. I'm being pushed into this cycle of trash and, support and kudos to the women that want to continue, but I'm out. Peace. And this ain't me. This is not what I work for. So I believe that you are everything. Now, when I decide of who and what I am, I mean, that is everything from what my hair looks like, the makeup I choose to wear, my clothing, my speaking, my stance, how I deliver this person in front of the audience and the camera, timing, knowing, and executing. And so if if Liv is portraying that that's what she is and wants, to be someone's server, I mean, that, the way she's dressing, I mean, maybe she likes that. Maybe that's what she's into. Maybe that's a stretch of her personality onto her outfits. Why, just because a lot of people out there may not approve or like it, why cut her down because she may like it? There's an approval somewhere because they let her wear that out there. So either like it or not, guys, it is what it is. We're not going to change anything. The only people that are going to say hey or nay is the company that they work for. So don't get mad at her if you don't like it. Write to your politicians of the WWE. Um, yeah, I mean, if they know, they know. If you know, you know. How's that? I
Well,
don't know.
if you know, you know. My thing is I believe in freedom of choice and freedom of expression, and if it's inside the guidelines of what the WWE says is okay, since they are their employers,
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me one bit.
then go for
Um,
it. Then that's if that's what it is, then that's what it is. Yeah.
and my very good friend, that really is his name, John Smith, points out dudes wear less. And that is not inaccurate. That male wrestlers wear far less than female wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, our friend, a wrestling historian, is here.
Uh-oh.
He found us. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
And I actually saw a picture of him without his mask on. He was in Las Vegas this past week. So
Really?
congratulations. So Instagram a wrestling historian wants to know, how would you have ended the Dangerous Alliance, Madusa?
I can tell you I wouldn't have ended the Dangerous Alliance the way it ended. I mean, I could have seen, I mean, I honestly, that could have been milked for a long time because there were so many key players and so many angles. Just think of the Bloodline 2.0 back then. Period, guys. That's all you got to say and think. I mean, I could sit here and think and come up with an angle, but you could have milked that forever. Definitely.
Yeah. Agreed. And they ended it with Larry in the War Games just a little too soon, but he didn't want to work
Yeah.
full time. So
Yeah, but what year was that? 19, that was 2000, right?
92.
No. That
92.
no, that
Middle of
was
1992.
that's 92, but later, okay, so 92, 93. Oh, okay, cuz at the end of 94 is when I signed with WWE. Okay. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
I signed with WWE. Okay.
You were in WWE in 1993, ma'am, weren't you?
I signed.
Because you were at WrestleMania 94, which was WrestleMania 10.
Oh, okay, maybe I signed in 93 and then yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
because Bill Watts calling you what he called you, along with calling Paul a fucking Jew, uh,
Yes.
was November of 92. Because he couldn't believe
Oh,
that the two of you outdrew Ron Simmons and Vader. So,
they were pissed.
yeah. Yeah, needless to say, Bill Watts is still a piece of shit. I said it, not Madusa, but Bill Watts is still a piece of shit. Recently, I was researching for Jake and confirmed that he
Yeah.
used the N word on Ernie Ladd and Junkyard Dog. So that's exciting. Little Bill Watts wasn't
Who
just
did?
in an
Oh,
elevator
Bill
at
Watts
Turner.
did?
Yeah. Yeah. About the two guys helping him make the most money at Mid South Wrestling. Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
Oh, that's right. He got some fucking heat for
He
that.
got
That's
fired from
right.
WCW for doing it in an elevator, and Hank Aaron heard about it. Yes, but he actually did it about guys that made him money. Don't have a whole hell of a lot of time for Bill Watts the person. Just me.
Definitely shit where he ate, didn't he?
Just me. Between you, Jake, Arn, and several others, and then the stories that are out there, not a
Yeah.
big fan of Bill Watts.
No,
Um,
I did not.
Amazing what he did with a small, well, I mean, it was a large geographically, but it wasn't a big wrestling promotion. But amazing what he did that way. Absolute piece of shit human being. And yes, I said it, not Madusa.
Okay,
Um,
speaking of shit, I wanna wrap it up though, speaking of shit,
we
and
have to.
I
What are you flying tomorrow? Delta?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you said speaking of shit. So I said, what are you flying tomorrow?
Oh, you
Delta?
so fuck you. Anyway, whatever. I get upgraded, dickweed.
Of course you
Speaking of
do.
speaking of shit, let's close it, and I want people to think about this until we, have our next broadcast. So, guys, I really want you to dig deep and think about we talked about Wrestlemania. We talked about a lot of things, but then again, we always sometimes talk about imagery and portraying and how people come across and people being accountable for what they do or what they've done. Um so I'm going to ask you this, guys. I mean, all of you. I want you to answer just, if you found out who's a famous sports person right now that everyone looks up to. Not in wrestling, but anywhere. Red. Who would it be? Football, basketball, baseball, women,
Well,
men.
obviously, the old quarterback would be Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City.
Okay.
Steph Curry was pretty good for the Warriors. I think people still put LeBron there in the basketball conversation modern
Okay. Any
day.
women?
Women, oh, shoot. Caitlin Clark plays good basketball,
Caitlin
and
Clark. Okay. Yeah, that's oh god, yeah, I love her. Okay.
she's
So
really good.
yeah, right. Okay. So guys, I want you to remember these names. And if Mahone and was playing and Caitlin Clark had their game right, let's say the night before and they were there watching and let's say Mahone didn't like Caitlin Clark and she was out there playing basketball and he snuck down and he went and shit in her bag and then left. And then, and then years later bragged about it, talked about it like it was no big thing. It was just a thing back then. Everyone thought it was funny. Can I honestly ask you guys, do you think that is okay? Do you think that's okay behavior? Would you still look up to Mahone if he did stuff like that to a woman? This is a serious question. What would you think of this person? Okay, is it funny? I just want to know how people think today. No, hell no. Come on, guys, y'all were talking to us. Give us what you think. Is it acceptable? Do you still think he's an idol? Would you sit down and have a drink with him? Is it funny? Would you still praise him? Okay, let's say if Mahone, what if he went into the Hall of Fame? Do you think he should be able to go into the Hall of Fame or even have it rejected if they did stuff like this and fucked with people's minds and hurt them? Didn't they take some people wouldn't drink with him? Good answer. More than likely not. Good. Why do people feel that they still idolize them? Why? Why do people still put people over like this? What is that, guys? Can you help me? Men, women, somebody? Nobody's. Everyone's scared. No, I didn't like hearing about this when it happened to Sable back in the day. Okay, so it happened to Sable. Okay, that's one of them anyway. Yeah, but do you know that these guys are still praised and pushed and they still get to collect and they're put on TV and it's okay? I just want to leave that thought. And y'all are probably thinking, well, this is a horseshit way to end. No, this is shit that people still got to think about and live with and still think it's okay. And you still see these people. Why can't something be done? Is it because it's already past the fucking, amount of time and people change and they found God? I'm sorry. That's weak. I think people can change and be better and do good, absolutely. But their soul is fucking burnt. Very messed up situations. And yeah, yeah. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to put that out there, not to be sour at the end of a podcast, but I just do you have that I sent you, Red?
Which one?
The one with shitting in Sable's bag. It's still brought up today and people talk about it and laugh.
No, ma'am. I do not have that.
Oh, you didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
You
okay.
you sent me a lot of things. Did you send me a video?
It might have been.
It was probably a video. We can't use it if it ain't yours.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'll get that and we'll use it next time because I mean, there's a whole collage of shit we can put together and not that these things happen today, but they're on a different form of how they're happening. I just let me ask you, Red, do you think these people still should be given all of the accolades when done shit like this? When that one baseball player was yanked off, he had to take away his Hall of Fame. With that one guy about being gambling or having gambling, I can't remember
Oh,
what it
Pete
was.
Rose. Yeah.
Yes. What
Well,
was that
Pete
whole
Rose
thing
is
about Pete
the
Rose?
Cincinnati Red manager and the hits leader, and he's not in the Hall of Fame, and that's a damn shame because
Exactly.
his gambling did not have anything to do with the way he played baseball.
And so they chose to take him out of the Hall of Fame because of his gambling.
Correct. It was morally, they're saying that it was wrong. What you're saying is there are plenty of Hall of Famers in WWE and beyond that have been bad actors, and they all still enjoy that recognition, whether they
Yeah.
deserve it or not. And my opinion is they are some shit-tastic people. Doesn't necessarily change what they did for wrestling, but when it becomes what they did in wrestling, that is part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So there's a reason that, um, well,
I just
I
feel
mean,
like so many people are hurt and messed up, and I know you can't live in the past and stuff. But I guess I'm talking about this because I saw something just on the internet today about this, and I'm like, the shit still comes up. And then
yeah,
you hear about the person talking about what they did on a podcast and laughing about it. I'm just like, God damn.
you certainly
Where's
did not send that to me because I don't
okay.
have it. I don't
All right.
have it. But anyway, no, I know exactly what and who you're talking about, and it is 100%. To me, it's 100% garbage. Um, and I don't celebrate some of these people the same way others do,
Yeah.
from the standpoint of
And
like,
again, we're never going to change the millions fans that think these guys are great either. So I'm not trying to do that. I don't know. I don't know what got me off of that tangent. I think when I just saw that out there and it was being played again, it just, just seeing it and I just see where these women are today and what they were and could have been. They just their whole life changed because people ganged up on them because they didn't like them. You know what I
well,
mean? And I
no,
just I don't
I
think
will
it's
argue. I will argue with you, Madusa, that shitting in somebody's purse or bag, like what happened to Sable or Sonny or the rest of them you hear about, is probably not. Um, is probably not the worst thing that ever happened to women.
Hmm.
Some of them, and
But
that is even worse. That's even more of a sad situation.
yeah,
Compelled,
I'm grateful
bullied
that it
into
literally don't
servitude,
happen anymore. I'm
sexually
very
otherwise.
glad times have changed for that reason, but boy, if why Dark Side of the Ring should do an expose on all that.
Well, they tried with Moolah, basically selling y'all into sexual slavery and indentured servitude, but they didn't come out and say it because they're a bunch of pussies and they're worried about ratings. But that's exactly what that was.
Mm.
And I said
Hmm.
it, and not Medusa. She's been on Dark Side of the Ring. They love her. I
Several
think the
times,
show's
and I love
fine.
working with them. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the show's fine. I just don't think they go far enough. Quit being a bunch of bitches and motherfuckers and just say what it is. It's the dark side of the ring for a reason. Anybody that celebrates that shitbag do Jack, what a piece of shit he was. Chris Adams, piece of shit.
Mm.
Absolutely 100 piece of shit. Bruiser Brody was such a spectacle, but also such an asshole. It got him killed. Got him
Oh,
killed. Not cool. But they won't come out and say it like that because I'm just a little more blunt. Bottom line is this guy here saying Chris Benoit isn't in the Hall of Fame. No, and he never will be. Never will be. Killed Nancy and Daniel, will never be in the Hall of Fame. Everything that he did got wiped away the minute he decided to kill his family and himself. Doesn't matter. He could be the 17-time world fucking champion. Doesn't
yeah.
matter. Will
That
never
would
be in
be
the
a
Hall of Fame.
that would be a
Never
race,
be in
kind of like the Mendez brothers. How the fuck did that go?
Well, the Menendez brothers, so they got like two. I read this before we got on, and now we're
Yeah,
getting way off the wrestling.
that's all
They
right.
they've got like a delay or something, and they've done the retrial, and now they're doing a couple of other legal procedures, but there's not been a decision made as
Hey
of yet.
guys, they might walk away. Those
Yeah,
guys might get out.
yeah,
I'm fucking beside myself. They shot their motherfucking parents. Period. God
and
damn.
I don't know who this is, Jay Diamond. I am 100% talking about pressuring women into sexual favors and then some inside the professional
You are
wrestling
not talking
business.
about sexual assaults on women, are
100%
you?
am. Yeah, 100% am.
Oh, you're talking about sexual assaults within the business.
Yeah, women went through a lot in order
Mm.
to be where they are, and I'll leave it
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
Yes, they did, Mr.
That's what I was
Diamond.
trying to say. Shitting in somebody's bag is not the worst thing that ever happened to women in wrestling. So,
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean, and guys got abused in ways too, guys. It just isn't women, but women, I mean, it was easier back then for women because they were just, it was easy to do to them. Men a little tougher,
yeah, and
you
that's
know.
why we normally are paving the way here with Madusa.
We are. We're always opening up stuff. We always have an open format, guys. You guys are all welcome to express everything. We're not going to say you're wrong or right. What you guys are open to, we'd love to read your comments. We love to discuss. We love to have back and forth. Remember, we're not right. We are just our views, our perceptions. Mine are not always Reds. Reds are not always mine. And that's what makes us a great team. And we see things differently. I mean, we balance out really well. And our fans too that watch this. I mean, you guys are amazing. You guys have a lot of great feedback too. We love the ones that argue because it gets Red fired up and he's like, "Well, let me correct myself. Let me say that better here so you
Yeah,
understand."
I
This
love
guy
people.
John Smith's got a point. Snook is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's not a stupid wrestling fan. He is one of my best friends, and he knows the
Oh,
deal. Well, that was Triple H. My bad. I clicked on the wrong thing. Snuka in the Hall of Fame, and Snuka killed Nancy, whatever her name was, and Vince helped him cover it up. And I said that, not Medusa.
oh wow, yeah, that was on Dark Side of the Ring, wasn't it?
Oh, Vince 100% guilty as fuck of helping him get away with murder.
Didn't he?
100%.
Didn't he stay out of the United States for a long time?
Uh, Possibly. I don't.
Not
Was
the
he?
United States, I think he just stayed in Hawaii for a while or
Yeah,
something,
I
but
don't know. But Snuka ended up being a piece of shit too.
oh,
Should
lord.
China go into the Hall of Fame? We can put a pin in that and discuss it at some point. But
Yeah.
I don't see why not. You put Michelle McCool in the Hall of Fame. No offense to her. It gave a great speech too.
Who did?
Michelle McCool gave a good speech for the Hall of Fame this past weekend.
Yeah, I thought so too. People said it was long as fuck, and who does she think she is? Main eventer, and I'm like, "Give it a break, people." Fuck. I
Well,
love
she's
the
undefeated.
fact the best part about the Hall of Fame is everyone was falling asleep, right? Okay, people get tired. It's a long fucking day. You had SmackDown, you had that. I've been there, I've done that. Had to go through the whole thing and then go to Hall of Fame. It's a long goddamn day. But the best thing is that people were really ripping on Booker, and Booker was actually sitting there with his eyes closed, just fucking probably out. And so I thought the best thing that Booker could have done, he fucking cooked all of them. He just posted the picture of him sleeping and didn't say a word. And then it was done because that's how you do it. It was so good.
You own your bullshit, don't you, Deuce? That's what it is.
Yes, own your
But
bullshit.
in and as you would say, in defense of your friends and colleagues, that damn Hall of Fame started at 1 o'clock Eastern time.
The what?
1 a.m. Eastern is when they kicked off the Hall of Fame because
Oh,
it's in
you're
Las
shitting
Vegas.
me.
1 a.m. Eastern is when that
How many
sumbitch
people
started.
Eastern time do you think actually watch that live?
I did not watch it the next day.
Right. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
god.
bad.
All right. Well, shit, I got a plane to catch. I gotta
Deuce
be
has
there at
to
5
go.
AM.
Are you doing the early bird thing again?
I do. Yes, my husband's fucking just gets livid at me. Yes.
I would too, because you're not actually needing to be in Indy until like, you know,
I am the first flight smoking. I get there the day before and fucking because the bullshit. Have any of you have flown lately? I mean, come on. Something always fucks up. I don't care what airline. So you know that when you're on that first flight, that bitch is 90% going to be leaving that airport because that plane is there first and it has to get to the next destination.
and this is why we take travel tips with Deuce. She is
Oh,
not wrong. I
oh
always
no.
I always fly early in the morning. Not as early as she does, but I fly early in the morning because to her point, those
Yes,
airplanes landed and got refilled and emptied and whatever else the night before. So it's a
they're
good tip.
ready to go. They got to
Except
go.
except she is wrong. Delta fucking sucks. But
Oh,
anyway, that's a whole nother
kiss my
discussion.
Delta ass. Jesus.
I'm a 10 million mile flyer. I get all the
I
perks.
am. I
Yeah,
get free
you know what else
flights.
you get? Fucking grounded when their plane shit, their computers go down. That's what you get.
And
Grounded
they catch on fire.
and they catch on fire. Thank you guys. We'll be back in a few weeks. We'll talk to you all very, very soon. And for those of you in Indy, 5 to 9, Friday night, go
April
see the one that
25th.
will be king.
I'll see ya,
Enjoy.
and my books will be there. All right, guys. Thank you. Peace out. Appreciate it.
See ya.